Everybody, 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 oh everybody,
she catches me
everybody,
off guard every time.
Everybody. Yes.
OMG. Well, hello.
Hi.
Can we bring this down a little bit? What you mean bring it down?
I feel like I'm like this and the rest of the thing, you know, just like tilted a little bit. Can you tilt? There you go. There you go. Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Come one, come all, come big, come small.
Hello.
Huh? For those of you guys who have never been with us before, perhaps it's been a little while, I am Candy Sincerity Johnson.
And I am Sean Johnson.
And together we do a whole lot of things. But typically when you see us sitting here at this here table, we talking about a trending topic. We talking about money. We're talking about business. We're looking at what's going on across this whole country. And we saying, look, this is what the boys and the girls are talking about. We came to the table to have a conversation.
Yes.
This is where we meet our best friends and we dissect all of the things that are going on and that are trending. And we extract the lesson and we, what?
Put the medicine in the candy.
Put the medicine in the candy. So I'm Candy Sincerity Johnson and you are beautiful lady.
Sean Johnson.
My beautiful, beautiful co-host.
Oh, thank you.
My beautiful, beautiful co-host. Yes, yes, yes. So listen, thank you for all of the hearts and all of the love. This video is dedicated to each and every one of our best friends. Shout out to all of our best friends. Shout out to our subscriber best friends. Shout out to all of the new best friends who will find our page as a result of maybe this conversation or something similar to it. And shout out to all of our replay friends as well. We love and appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we're so glad to have you.
Absolutely.
So yesterday, oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yesterday, my love, yesterday was an extremely busy
You had a
day.
funky good conversation according to what I had seen.
Girl, you know, I had to have a conversation without you because you had to make old nasty turn over to the Walmart.
Yeah, to the little store.
So I know you had to run to the store. I told the people, I said, I didn't say what errand. I said, girl, Sean got to run an errand. And so I'm going to go ahead and have a little teaspoon of conversation. And so what I started to do was I started to try to unpack all of what was going on social media. But it was too much, girl. It's very much so like, oh, thank you for the stars. Y'all coming in the building paying tithes. Thank you very much, Miss Cynthia, for the stars. We greatly appreciate it. So it was so much to pack. You know how you go to your favorite restaurant and girl, that food be good, but you gotta, take some home. So this is what we have now brought home, baby.
Yes.
But let me tell you, the leftovers, when they simmer a little bit, when the leftovers simmer a little bit and you put that thing in the oven and not the microwave,
get up in there, no pun intended.
Yes, when that seasoning get down in there, sometimes the conversation is better on the next day, okay?
I know that's right.
Yes, sometimes the conversation is better on the next day. So this topic, y'all, this hot, juicy topic, this topic is a result of Chef Carmen going live on yesterday, announcing that she was no longer with Igotchu Seasonings. Her exact words is she stated that Karina is now 100% owner of the business.
Oh, she finally let everybody else know.
She let everybody, exactly. Now, see, what did I tell y'all best friends when we were sitting downstairs on the couch? I said, Sean and I been new.
We knew that last year.
We knew last year, girl. Well, last year was a few weeks ago. We knew how everything was going down, what, about a month or two ago?
Yeah, about a month ago.
About a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And so, we always tell you guys, we will never tell somebody else's story.
What's told in confidence is told in confidence for a reason.
When you tell us something in confidence, girl, you can just assure that it's not going no further than us.
Absolutely.
So we sat on a lot of information. We sat on what has been made public and a lot more. We will continue to sit on anything that's not public. Okay?
Absolutely.
But what I wanted to do was I want to unpack what's public. Okay? So what Sean is going to do, y'all, Sean is going to give you guys a glimpse or a highlight, an overview of Carmen's video. I'm going to give you some good old nasty commentary. Like always. I'm going to also give you something on this video that I probably didn't do, or maybe I did on previous videos. I'm going to speak to both parties. I'm going to speak to both parties and make some suggestions on maybe some things to consider as they move forward. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Yes. All right, that sound all right with y'all?
That sounds all right to me.
All right, well, buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a little bit of background for. I mean, most of you guys, I'm sure, saw the video that Chef Carmen did yesterday, where she came on and just basically, I don't know if there were questions coming her way, because I don't really know why she decided to come on live and say it. I don't know if people have been asking, inboxing, texting. I don't know, but she came on to let it known that she no longer has any ownership in Igotchu Seasonings. Okay. So Candy watched it first, and she was like, hey, we watched it together. Okay. And so I pulled some stuff out of it. And one of the main things was, she said, no, I do not own Igotchu Seasonings. I get no revenue from it. I get nothing from it. No royalties, no nothing. She is no longer affiliated with Igotchu Seasonings, with the exception of some things that she still has to do. Okay.
Some contractual obligations.
Yeah,
is what that means.
Yeah, some contractual obligations.
Obligations. Okay.
She did say what I did like is that she said she apologized for letting anyone down or offending anyone in the process. In the process of that whole thing happening, she was like, if I hurt anybody, if I offended anybody, if I lost some people in the process of it, I'm sorry. I apologize. And I thought that was huge, because for somebody to have to go back on something, that's huge, and so I thought that was huge. She did say that she wished that things had turned out differently.
That part.
And for me, I couldn't imagine how she must feel, and I think that I probably would feel the same way. Like, man, I wish things could have worked out differently. Whenever things go not so well, you always say, well, I wish it could have been different. Okay. She did say that when she left Atlanta, though, she left with everything that she wanted.
What did she want?
She wanted her fiance.
Okay.
She wanted her peace of mind, and she wanted her sanity.
Okay. Now, I respect that. She wanted her fiance, her peace of mind, and her sanity. I would want my piece of check. Huh? I'll take the piece of mind too, but I'm gonna also need you to run me my piece of check,
a little piece of coin. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
She did to me. And one of the things, I don't know if some of the best friends saw a prior video that she had done, it seemed polar opposite to a video that she did when she was in Atlanta to get her hair done. I don't know if you guys saw it, when she was in the Waffle House, and this was the day after the interview that Karina did with Darius Cooks. She seemed emotional. It seemed like to me, and I don't know if I was reading her wrong, she seemed like she was fighting back tears maybe. She was very emotional. Yeah. Okay. She's very emotional. Her significant other came around, was there to support her. And it seemed polar opposite from the Waffle House video, where she was laughing it up and like in so many words, and I'm putting words in her mouth now. She was like, y'all is a mess. Like,
yeah. Well, her exact words was, somebody need to go over there and take her phone. Yes. Remember, she kept saying, somebody need to go over there and take her phone and all that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And so
it was very night and day.
It was
very night and day.
And I don't know if it was a situation, because sometimes when you have a knee-jerk reaction to something, you just react. And then as you sit on it, your emotions and your feelings and things like that, and they start to bubble up, and it can come out differently. So maybe that wasn't I don't know. I haven't talked to Carmen. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that was a knee-jerk reaction at the Waffle House. I don't know. Somebody did ask her, will there be another seasoning company? And she said she can't answer that. And I know you were going to speak to why you believe that's the case. But she said she can't speak to that right now. There were certain things, she's very adamant and very clear that there were some certain things that she cannot discuss. She can't talk about certain things. She can't answer certain questions. She can only say so much, which I respect. You have to do that, especially when you have legalities involved. And she did say that they can look forward to, or we can look forward to, because we tune in from time to time as well, new and amazing content. Okay.
She said she's gonna be cooking.
She will be cooking.
She said she's gonna be back cooking.
Okay.
What else did she say?
And she's like, you know what? At the end of the day, she can't fight this anymore. She's like, she's gonna give it up to God. She's done.
Okay.
And all the dramas and all of the things. And she was done. But there's some new and exciting content coming. Her significant other even said that the empire is starting over, and it's a new day, honey.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure
And
it
then
is.
she closed us out by saying, thank you for over 15 years of love and support. She's been in this thing for a long time.
She said she was going to do a rebranding and a name change. What was the name change?
Did she mention it? I didn't see it. Did she say?
I thought she said Chef Carmen.
Oh, Chef Carmen HTX. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Chef
right.
Carmen
Because she's no
HTX.
longer in the ATL. Chef Carmen HTX. That's coming soon.
Yes.
That's coming soon. She's rebranding. And she is going to still be doing things with feeding the homeless and all of her outreach type programs that she was known for and big for when she was in Atlanta.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that was pretty much the gist of the video.
Okay.
And look at her feverishly taking notes. Look at this one.
I don't want to lose this thought. Un momento, por favor. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop there. Okay. Okay. So there was something that you said that I was going to put a pin in and come back to.
Oh yeah, when they asked about will there be another seasoning company?
So there was a friend in the comments. Excuse me, I bumped the table and my stomach is big. There was a friend in the comments of her video that said, "Hey, will you be doing another seasoning company? You know, you sold Igotchu Seasonings, but will you go over here on your own and start your own seasoning company?" Her response was what?
No, she can't answer that right now.
She said, "I cannot answer that right now."
She can't answer that.
This is my perspective. This is not as a result of no side conversation. This is just what I know about business. Typically, when there's a business split, there's two individuals that go their separate ways, regardless of what the circumstances are. Usually what typically happens is one or both parties will sign what's called a non-compete agreement. Okay? A non-compete agreement means either forever or for a period of time, you can do what you do, but you cannot open a business exactly similar to what you just sold.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You can go over here, you can cook, you can create new products, but what you cannot do, what would be a conflict of interest, is if you turn around and start another seasoning company. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10 times, probably 10 out of 10, I would go ahead and put my money on the fact that Karina's attorneys and Karina's business advisors have instructed her and advised her to have Carmen sign a non-compete agreement.
Okay.
In order for Carmen to have likely got the payout from her portion of what was left of Igotchu Seasoning, she probably had to sign over that non-compete agreement.
Don't make sense.
Now, what typically, and that's fine because that's typically how business works,
Yeah.
right? That's typically, that's a very, very smart move. That's a chess move, right? Now, was there something else that I said that I was, So, best friends. The last time we came and we publicly talked about this topic, we were right here. We did a reaction video to the interview that Darius did with Karina, right? Affectionately known on social media as Boss Lady.
Yes.
Darius and Karina sat down and had what I still believe is an outstanding conversation. They unpacked a lot of things. There were a lot of things that fell out of the bag that we now are privy to that we didn't previously know, which that's a telltale sign of a good interview, right? When you walk away, even though you've been watching the situation unfold, when you walk away with new information. When we did our reaction video, at some point, Karina saw our reaction video. Karina posted under our reaction video some comments as she was watching that video. So what Sean is going to do is Sean is going to share some of what Karina stated, and I'm going to give you more commentary, okay?
Yeah. More business type commentary.
So this, so I'm sorry, babe.
Okay.
So this is going to give you the background, right? So a lot of people, again, I tell y'all all the time, lead with logic, lead with facts, leave your emotions at home, okay? Lead with facts and leave your emotions at home. So as we were talking about different things and we were giving our hypothesis or we were guessing, hey, maybe this played out or maybe that played out. Karina came, watched the video and gave us hardcore facts. This is what was going on during that time, or this is what was going on. So now as Sean is reading Karina's comments, I want you guys to take your mind back to different points during the past couple of years as all of this was playing out. Okay?
Okay, so she was responding to someone else in the comments on that video that we had done saying that they needed a new face for the seasoning. She said, we won't be having a face for the brand anymore. That was decided months ago. I will have ambassadors. Anytime you have a face, you are taking a risk if that person's reputation becomes tarnished in any manner. How to market is done the same way. Every other company does it. I have an entire marketing plan that does not rely solely on social media. Okay. So that was one of the comments that she made. Then she said she was responding to something, obviously something that Candy was probably saying. She said, ladies, you are on the right track. My main focus has always been the business. When her and Rico ran things, it was more of a hustle, not a real business. They were handwriting orders, no inventory control system, no sales tax, no payroll tax, no income tax, no system to fix the enormous amount of mistakes being made with orders, no recipe book, no cost management, etc., etc. I can go on for hours of what was lacking and had to be fixed to legitimize this business. As for all the personal stuff, it's secondary to me. She will learn for herself, as it's not my life, it's hers. I no longer have time to babysit grown people. Ashley was also fighting for her mom's business. I've tried to keep it respectful and professional, but there's so much people don't know or understand about this situation.
Okay, somebody missed it. There was a lot there. I'm going to ask Sean to reread it, and I'm going to ask her to read it a little bit slower. I want you guys to process. I know, but we got to sit here for a second. Mm-hmm. I want you to process what's being said. Again, there's all these different sides of the story, and here we get down to the bottom of what's factual, okay? So process what's being said. And this is for all the naysayers that are like, I'm not supporting the seasoning no more if our homegirl ain't over there. And y'all need to boycott and all this. No, leave your feelings at home. This is the place for logic. This is where we talk about business, okay? I told you guys on yesterday's video when I gave you a snippet of my thoughts, and I said, again, removing all emotion from it, I said 9 out of 10 people wouldn't even know that this business existed, or this business may not be here still standing had it not been for Karina. Read.
Okay. Ladies, you are on the right track. My main focus has always been the business. When her and Rico ran things, it was more of a hustle, not a real business. They were handwriting orders, no inventory control system, no sales tax, no payroll tax, no income tax, no system to fix the enormous amount of mistakes being made with orders, no recipe book, no cost management, etc., etc. I can go on for hours of what was lacking and had to be fixed to legitimize this business. As for all the personal stuff, it's secondary to me. She will learn for herself, as it's not my life, it's hers. I no longer have time to babysit grown people. Ashley was also fighting for her mom's business. I've tried to keep it respectful and professional, but there's so much people don't know or understand about this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, what I will say, as far as the income tax thing, we know that because that was spoken upon by Chef Carmen. So we know that at least we know that.
Yeah. So again, a lot of people are watching this whole thing play out on social media. And the danger is people take sides and people extract their opinion, number one, based on the small part of the full picture that they see. And number two, they do it based on their seat and how things impact them. Oh, I fell in love with her. I've been watching her cook. That don't make her right? I understand, or this person is doing this or whatever. That don't make them right. It goes back to the facts, and the facts remain the same. You cannot run a legitimate business writing down orders, messing up orders, not knowing your numbers, not knowing your costs. All of these different things that a lot of people think they could shortcut. A lot of times people get in trouble like that. This is how oftentimes me as a business coach, a lot of people come to me when they already done dug themselves in a world of trouble and they want me to help untangle Charlotte's web. You understand what I'm saying?
And let me bring that into perspective. For any of you guys that have been with us since we started our e-commerce brand, Sincerity Johnson, we started off as a hustle, if you want to be real.
Yeah.
So it's not a situation of
it's not
trying to poke our nose in the air and think that we're better than. No, a lot of businesses start off very grassroots, and then you figure that thing out. But the main thing is you don't stay there. Like Candy said, when we first opened up Sincerity Johnson, that wasn't even the name at the time. For those who have been with us, it was a completely different name. And like Candy said, I was hand sewing head wraps and mask sets by hand, writing down orders, taking money through Cash App, and Candy was like,
We did that for less than 30 days. By month 2, we had a full Shopify going. We had a full, and like Sean said, you can start there, but you can't stay there. You can't stay there. You see what I'm saying? And it was example after example after example where it's very, very evident. Now that more evidence keep falling out the bag, Karina saved this business. She saved this business. And she was attacked online by a lot of people who were completely misunderstood, didn't have all the facts. You understand what I'm saying? And just was riding the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And operating on social media with emotion and not logic. Did she say anything else?
No, not in there.
Okay. So, y'all, this is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I just came from the post from earlier today.
It's a lot. Let me take you back. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to put you in a car and we're going to go back a couple of months when this thing first jumped off online. When this thing first jumped off online, I told you guys how we got entangled in this mess. Sean and I sit at this very table and talk about trending topics all the time. Days before we did our first video on this, we were talking about La Truth and his wife in that mess. So we decided, this is an opportunity to teach the entrepreneurs about the business stuff. We did a video and we told y'all Carmen called us. Carmen called us because she had our number.
Yeah.
We didn't know she had somebody else on three-way during that call. 9 out of 10 times it was Tay, because that's when Carmen was in Atlanta and Tay was in Texas. You understand what I'm saying? I told y'all she never made us aware that somebody else was listening to the call. That was underhanded, if I could be transparent. We overlooked it and we still supported her. Why? Because during that time, if y'all remember, if you've been watching, she was seemingly very depressed. She was seemingly on the verge of a nervous breakdown. She seemingly was unraveling and spiraling out of control. Then, shortly after that first video, if you guys been around a while, you remember Carmen went live. And she was sitting in her house and she brought Sean and I on the live.
She was sitting in front of the fireplace.
She was sitting in front of the fireplace. And we kept saying, friend, you got to get up. You can't stay here. This state of depression, you can't stay here. You got to get up. You got to get back in the kitchen. You got to rebuild. You can't succumb to this. I don't care what's going on. Even on that video, I said, I stand in the gap for both parties. I said, because if you don't get a hold of this thing, people was tearing me up in the comments. They was like, who are y'all? Who you bringing on the live? This, that, and the third. Huh? Right? Am I lying? I said to her on and offline, you guys gotta come together and get this right. Even if getting it right looks like what we call in business a 12-month or 24-month exit strategy. Even if y'all don't want to do business together, y'all want to go y'all separate ways, everybody got to exit in the situation in a way that's going to be beneficial to all parties. Yeah. One of the things that became very public with this case is the operating agreement. Y'all remember hearing about the operating agreement? There were several things that were outlined in the operating agreement. And one of the things that rings true to me is Carmen wanted her daughter to take over the business should something happen to her. She was leaving her portion of the business to her child. That's called legacy building, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Karina was doing the same thing for her sons. Should something happen to Karina had it in the operating agreement that her children would take over. These are women that were looking far into the future. They knew they were building a 7 or 8 figure business. They knew this thing was taking off and it was growing legs. They were trying to plan even then. So during this whole time, I'm telling Carmen, look, sis, I'm not trying to minimize how you feel. How you feel is how you feel. But what I know is business. You understand what I'm saying? And both of y'all, regardless of how much y'all disagree, you have a common interest. And the common interest is to impact the people, make as much money as you possibly can, and leave a legacy for your children. Yeah. So you got to come together to the table in the name of those kids. Forget all the bullshit. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And I was speaking from a place where Sean and I are legally divorced.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we had to do it. We couldn't even stand to look at one another.
Yes.
We still kept it together.
And people ask us over and over and over again. Now, we decided to get back together, but we ain't married. You know what I'm saying? So even after 20 years of us going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, we still had business entanglements. We're speaking from experience where we said, look, I get it. But at the end of the day, the 2 9-year-olds that we have upstairs are twins. That was what kept bringing us back together. Sean and I would cuss each other out over text, over the phone. Whenever the kids wasn't around, we was going for broke. But at the end of the day, she knew and I knew, all bullshit aside, we got one common denominator. And that's to make sure everybody get out the situation clean. And that's to make sure these kids are unbothered. Everybody was so emotionally charged throughout this whole ordeal. Now, fast forward, y'all, get back in the car and let's bring it present. Now, nobody wants to listen to Candy then. Everybody wants to say, who is she? Whatever. I was trying to talk to Carmen. Carmen didn't want to listen. Carmen still don't want to listen. Here you have it, right? You was real boastful and real cocky in the Waffle House. Yesterday, I seen a different version. And I don't know if it's because I'm excellent at business or if it's the visionary part of me and I always can see things into the future. I knew you were going to have 2 broken people as a result of this mess. There are no winners as a result of this. I don't care what anybody says online. There are no winners after this mess. You got Carmen over there that's got to rebuild. You got Karina over here that has to rebuild. And you got everybody in the middle saying, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going here, I'm going there. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's struggling. And am I saying that they should just be kumbaya and continue to do business after all of the mistrust and different things that was said and done over the years? No. But what I'm saying is a 12-month exit strategy would have been beneficial for everybody. Here's what that looked like. Let me give y'all some examples. They built what's called a personal brand. There's 2 ways you can build a successful company. You can build a personal brand, which would be like, Igotchu Seasonings and Carmen is the face of the brand. Or you got Darius Cooks where he's the, the person with the pots and the pans and the cookbooks and the this and the that, right? Then you got a corporation. A corporation would be like,
nameless faces.
State Farm Insurance, Ford Motor Company. These are big corporations, right? Now, a personal brand can be just as large as a corporation. Make no mistake about it. But the danger with a personal brand, we have a personal brand. We actually have 2 of them. The danger with a personal brand is when something happens to that person, you now are at a loss because majority of the people came because of something connected with that person. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you can transfer a personal brand into, something where you have another phase or something like that. But it's very difficult to shift what started as a personal brand and make it a corporation type of concept, a faceless, nameless brand. It's very difficult to go from A to B. You see what I'm saying? Had they followed my direction. Now, again, Karina and I had never talked offline. We, outside of the comments and stuff and me going under her video and commenting, we've never had any outside conversation. Carmen can't say she didn't have access to me because there was so many times I tried to have conversations with her. The conversations was very much so what she wanted to say, then she was off the phone. I kept saying, yo, friend, I got a lot of stuff I want to share with you that can help you, but she was so emotional about this whole thing. I told Sean, I said, I'm taking my hands off of it because she's not in a position to listen. She's not in a position to listen. And her ability not to be able to listen right now, and I'm not saying that I'm right and I'm the only person you can listen, but your inability to be able to listen is going to be your demise. Let me say it again. Your inability to be able to listen is going to be your demise.
And that's for anybody in that situation or something similar or whatever.
What I was trying to tell them, what I was trying to tell her to take to Karina was this. This is what this 12-month exit strategy looked like. We've seen it play out in front of us. For the people who old school, y'all remember back in the day, my granny used to watch Johnny Carson.
Yes.
She used to watch the Johnny Carson show. And at some point, Johnny brought in, what was that man's name? Was it Ed McMahon?
So Ed McMahon was his co-host.
Ed McMahon was the co-host, right?
Yeah.
So this is how personal brands change hands. This is what this 12-month strategy would look like, or 24-month, or 18-month, whatever it looked like. You gradually bring somebody else in. You see what I'm saying? They start popping up as like guest appearances, you know, whatever, you know, maybe Carmen and the person start cooking together. They do collaborations or they do like competitions or whatever, right? They do that a couple of times a week and you start sprinkling that person in. And then over time, you show certain elements of transparency. You don't give everybody everything, but you show certain elements of transparency. And over time, it becomes known that this person is like the predecessor. This person is coming in to take over. You see,
switching places.
You see pastors do it all the time when they're getting ready to retire, huh? You see the person that they're grooming to take over the church or be the pastor. You see them kind of working with that person, right? So this is the same thing. So like Johnny Carson was originally the face, then Ed McMahon came in, then Jay Leno, then now Jimmy McFallon. You see what I'm saying? But you gradually change out the person in the seat. But you can't go from a person in the seat to now a corporation. You can't. I've never seen it done. I'll recant my statement. I won't say you can't do it. I've never seen it done. I've never seen it done. Right? So now what you have is you have two sides of the story and two sides of a very difficult thing that has happened. And I don't see a winner for either, right? Not right now. Now the story can end different. There can be a winner.
Yeah.
But you got to do things different, right? The first thing I'm going to tell y'all what I feel like needs to happen. Oh, let me give you one more example. Let me give you one more example of somebody who was being groomed. Here in Chicago, we had a radio station. Well, we have a radio station, V103. I haven't listened to the morning show in years. Steve Harvey used to be on the morning show.
He still is.
You can't tell me he ain't been grooming nephew Tommy over the past, I don't know how many years to take over his spot.
Yeah, I think so too.
If they came in tomorrow and announced that nephew Tommy was taking over his spot, who would be shocked? And there would be no fallout because they set it up that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Same concept. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, here's what I think Carmen needs moving forward.
Okay, go ahead.
No, tell me.
No, I was going to ask you, now that we've kind of laid some things out with your perspective and a little bit of my perspective, etc. As a business coach, because you do this on a daily basis with people, helping them build businesses, start businesses, etc. What would you say to both parties? Because I know sometimes what people do is they come onto our videos and they're like, "Oh, you're biased because you know Carmen." No, we're really not. Like if you really listen and really hear what we say, we just comment on the facts and what's there. So what would you say to both of these people in this situation?
So here's a direction. Here's what I would give Carmen. The truth hurts. Number one, you need a business coach. You have to have a business coach. You need a non-biased business coach that's non-interested in, certain things. Don't own a percentage of the business. This is literally got to be somebody who you hire, you pay a salary to, you pay a retainer to, whatever the case may be. You need a business coach. I don't know that I can take you on as a client, truth be told. That's just me, right? Because the relationship between me and the clients that I work with is I have to have somebody who's coachable. And being coachable means you're not going to take this information and constantly get up and do what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? But she needs a business. She's got to have a business coach. She's got to have a business coach. The second thing that I would advise Carmen to do, and I say this because this is my own personal opinion based on things that have happened in my personal life. And this is my opinion based on my business expertise. Okay? So I'm combining personal and business. Okay? You got to separate your marriage, your relationship romantically with folks, and your business. The two of them don't need to be in the bed together. I'm a firm believer that God will place you in the same situation over and over and over and over again until you realize the mistakes that you're making, make different choices, and move different. You understand what I'm saying? Now, since everything has fallen out the bag, what do we now know, family? We now know that her and Stephanie were married. We now know that during the time that her and Stephanie were married, something behind closed doors went left. A page was deleted. She had to rebuild her whole empire. And today it still ain't even as much as it was when it happened. Now, who deleted the page? I'm not here to play Who Shot John. It don't even matter at this point. But there was somebody connected to you that had too much doggone access. And look what happened. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against Tate. The young woman have not done anything to me. We had one conversation. I don't know her. She don't know me. She seemed to be a nice person. This ain't even that.
Right.
So please don't come for me with all of that.
It could be anybody in the scene. She could say the same thing.
Plug anybody into the costume. Put the costume on them, and it's them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's call a spade a spade. You have a history, Carmen, of constantly getting in these entanglements with people, and you give all. You bear your soul. It's very similar to, I got to tie everything into money. It's very similar to if you went down, girl, to Google. You went down to Google, you applied for a job, and they gave you a job. And they said, hey, sir, ma'am, we're going to start you off with this position. It starts at $50,000 based on your experience and whatnot. The position caps at $100,000. We're going to start you off with 2 weeks of vacation, but then, after 10 years of seniority, you get, 4 weeks of vacation or whatever, however go, right? So the position started at 50, but it caps at 100. See, what Carmen has a tendency to do is instead of forcing people to work their way up and gain some seniority, she bring a motherfuckers in, capping them at the top at 100K. Girl, she bringing people in off the street, capping them at if I'm lying, stop me. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm lying, stop me. Yeah. You have to work. When you have a lot to lose, you the one got a lot to lose. You understand what I'm saying? When you have a lot to lose, people have to come in and they got to prove. I'm not saying, yes, I am. I'm lying. People got to prove their worth. How I dated people years ago when I was in my 20s and I had a 400 credit score and my account was overdrawn and Sean had to go, when we first started that shit, to go get a payday loan to pay my cell phone bill. That candy versus this candy is two different candies. And the way that I would date, if Sean and I went our separate ways, the way that I would date now is just completely different than how I dated years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I got more to lose. And I'm looking at people who trying to get next to me like, what you here for? Yeah. Maybe you here for foul intent. Maybe you here for good intent. But we gonna put you through the ring. We're gonna do a couple of things just to make sure. You understand what I'm saying?
Out to see where you fit.
So number one, I would say Carmen, the business coach. Number two, separate your marriage, your personal relationships from your money and your business. Okay? Number three, you need to figure out what you're going to do, Carmen. You need to figure out what you're going to do. Here's what I mean. Social media is something she has mastered. She can create a brand. She can get people excited. She can do engaging content. She can bring the crowd. She can keep the crowd. But sis, you cannot rely, and I'm not saying you are because I'm not counting your coins. I don't know. But you cannot rely solely on social media money. If the Book of Faces, if all of these platforms came tomorrow and said, we're no longer going to be paying out, then what are you going to do? Okay? When you had a business, you had a legitimate business. Y'all probably had an email list, a text list, all of these things. You was what we call in business gathering your lead. You was gathering. You see what I'm saying? You had a relationship with people on and offline. So should something jump off, you could still reach your people and generate, lots of income. But if you now don't have this business, but you relying on, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It's very much so looking like you relying on social media money. Yeah. So if that dries up or if it's no longer available unto you, then what happens? So I'm a firm believer that nobody should be building a platform without a product or a service. Let me say it again for the people in the back. This is only for the people who trying to build a platform. There is nobody on God's green earth who should be doing this much work and not trying to bring forth a product or a service. That's where the majority of your revenue comes from. It's not the stars, girl. That's a penny. You see what I'm saying? Right. It's not all of the, whatever. That should be almost like the ketchup on the burger. You understand what I'm saying? That can't be what you eating off of. Right. Everybody on this app should have a product or service if they're trying to build a following or a community. So the next thing that she needs is a product or service. So with the understanding that we now believe that she's under a non-compete, we know seasonings and cookbooks is probably off the table. Cooking classes ain't. She always talking about that green egg. Come out with a grill or a griddle.
That would be dope.
Come out with a grill or a griddle. Girl, you see what I'm saying? Whatever. You got to come out with some products that's parallel to what you're known for. If you came out the gate and everybody in the world know you for cooking, you can't turn around and now be trying to fix credit. You see what I'm saying? Right. You can't turn around and be like, okay, now we gonna, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to find a product or a service that runs parallel to what people know, like, and trust you for.
Exactly.
But you got to also make sure you're in compliance with that non-compete. You know what that non-compete say. I ain't seen it, and I'm just assuming that it's in place. Okay? Right. Last bit of advice for her. You got to stay away from these charity cases. What do I mean by charity cases? I understand and I do believe in my heart that you got a big heart and that you're trying to help people. Yeah. You trying to feed the homeless. You got people who ain't got nowhere to stay. You got kids involved. It's folks with sick kids and cancer and all this other. It's too many people and too many scandals. Yeah. It's too many people and too many scandals. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of it is true. I'm not saying that none of it is true. I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I'm saying is you have to address the elephant in the room. And it's a very, 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 very bad look for your brand. So if you want to give, I would just give money and be done with the whole thing.
A lot of people have philanthropic efforts. I mean, think of all the celebrities and things that do stuff and you never even know they did it. Because if that's truly your heart, and I feel like it really, really is, do it. But just because if you notice that every single time you do something, you hit a brick wall, you got to make a different decision. You got to do it differently. Continue to help people. If that's truly in your soul and that's truly what drives you and that's truly what makes you happy, continue to do it. But honey, you can go on the March of Dimes website, shameless plug, some later. You can go to the Red Cross website. You can do whatever you want to do and you can still give or, whatever that looks like. But it is because there's this tainted reputation.
The image is tainted. The image is tainted.
And so because of that, you just got to think about doing it differently.
So there's a young lady in the comments named Stephanie that said, y'all sound messy. Stephanie, thank you for your sentiments. Stephanie, I did a post probably about an hour ago on my page.
Oh, never mind.
What?
No, go ahead. Continue.
I did a post on my page probably about an hour ago. So if you go down to my page right before this video, the post was not about you, but it addresses the very thing that you just stated. So I'm going to refer you back to that post because clearly you're new here and you don't know me.
And it's okay. All are welcome. However,
everybody's welcome and everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had $1 for everybody who said we was messy, because the common denominator, y'all, about everybody who jumps from page to page to page to page calling people messy, how would you know unless you stuck around? How would you know unless you stuck around? And if you sticking around and you're there when all of the conversations are going forth, then wouldn't that make you an accessory to the crime? I don't know. Right? I don't know.
There's somebody else in the comments, but the best friends are him.
I don't know. I don't know. Right? A lot of times, see, the thing about in our community is the only community that do it. When people are speaking truth and we having uncomfortable conversations and you calling people on the carpet, they call you messy.
Mm-hmm.
They call you messy. No, messy would have been if I brought this conversation forth when I found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been messy.
Yeah.
I'm just simply responding and giving commentary to what the person involved has already made public.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a lie, she told it. I'm just responding to the video that Carmen posted on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
No different than you would do in the privacy of your own home.
Right.
The only thing that make it different is I invite my best friends over here to my page, which is my version of me inviting my friends in the house with us.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, y'all in the house with us, and we sitting around and everybody's sharing their thoughts. But over here, everybody don't agree all the time. But we're not messy.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Moving right along. So that was the information for Carmen. So
yeah.
Now, what would you give for Boss Lady?
So
can I say one more thing and then I'm gonna let it go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, for the people who say y'all are messy and stay out of people's business, give me one school lesson, college course, or whatever where they were teaching you something and they did not give you any real life examples. They didn't give you any practical examples so that you can learn the lesson that's trying to be taught and make it relatable to you so that you can walk away and say, oh, I understand. I get it. The Pythagorean theorem, the law of gravity, all of these things that you learn. They didn't just spout off information to you and tell you to go figure it out. They gave you practical examples. They gave you things that would help you to understand it and to digest it.
Yeah.
It's the exact same situation.
Yeah.
And if this information was not public, we could not use it as a practical example for the information to get down into your shondo, for you to walk away. We've had people from Candy's video last night saying, sis, you got me looking into life insurance. You got me reorganizing my whole financial plan. You got me looking at your website at the No Debt Reset. You got me doing all types of things because she took something that was a public piece of information, made it practical, taught you something, and you was able to walk away with it. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Last night's video, we talked about life insurance. And again, if I can be transparent, Sean got life insurance, so do I. Our kids got life insurance. I have 2 policies. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't show up for the conversation for me. I show up for the conversation for the people who call me messy. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why you still here is because it's something that perked your ears. Otherwise, you would have clicked off the video. You'd have been left, sis. You'd have been left. Okay? Just be honest with yourself and just say, I'm enjoying the content. You'll feel better with the truth. The truth looks better. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, this is what I would say to Karina. I would say to Karina that, number one, I'm sorry that you had to go through what you experienced. Karina got dealt a bad hand. When you remove all emotion and you look at what has happened and you do it from a non-biased perspective. My first introduction to who Karina was online was after everything fell out the bottom with her and with Carmen and Stephanie. I remember Carmen going live. And she was in a car driving and she looked like she had been crying. And she was going somewhere and we had no idea where she was going. The place she was going was Karina's house. And I don't know what was said offline, but her and Karina worked out a deal, and I kept seeing Carmen go live and cook at Karina's house constantly, which speaks to what she was saying on the interview. I kept seeing her work in the background and doing all of these things to help build Carmen back up and help get Carmen back on her feet. Throughout this whole process, there's certain things that are triggers in my mind that I remember. I remember Carmen going live one day in her truck, and she was like, I gotta go over to Boss Lady house. We gotta do some, we gotta do some stuff related to some business. She told me to be here at 10. I'm looking at the time. I was looking at the time. It was like 12. You understand what I'm saying? Karina been dealing with nonsense. She been dealing with nonsense. She been trying to make it work. And so all I could say through this whole thing is, I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry that you trying to help somebody and be there for them caused all this pain and anguish to you. You see what I'm saying? All of this unnecessary drama to you. But my advice to her going forward would be, I think she has a very strong handle on the business sense. She can run circles around that business. She knows her numbers. It's very evident. She knows her numbers. She knows how to run a business. But I would urge her to hire a professional marketing company to figure out how to drive a lot more revenue. Excuse me. And I'm not suggesting that she don't have a lot of revenue, but what I'm saying is there's a fallout that naturally happens when there's an announcement made that the ownership of a business has changed. It happens with every corporation, even corporations. When the CEO leaves, there's a natural fallout that business has to build into the process, where usually for 3 months, 6 months, even 12 months, that business loses a lot of revenue because there's what's called an adjustment period. Right. Thank you very, very much for the stars.
Thank you
Thank you very, very much for the stars. So I would say that she needs a professional marketing company to come in and to help kind of cushion that and kind of maybe save some of the people that are leaving. I will also urge her to consider, and I don't know if she's ever considered maybe her considering cooking.
Boss Lady don't do it.
Why you feel like that?
Boss Lady is a move and a shaker, honey. Boss Lady is for me. Like I said, I don't know her, but just from what I've observed, Boss Lady is the type of person that looks like she gets in there. She knows how to move her money, make her money, multiply her money, and then she moving and shaking. She at Disney with her family. She on cruises. She enjoying herself. She's reaping from her harvest, honey. She ain't got time to be standing in front of no camera. Thank you for the stars. Thank you for the stars, Erica. She ain't got time to be standing in front of no camera, whipping up no eggs and no pancakes and steaks.
Yeah, well, okay. So what do you suggest? Because it's a personal brand. It's you can't. I don't see the path of having a personal brand and change it to like a corporation style company.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. For me, I don't think she would want to do that. I could be wrong, but I don't think that she would want to step into those shoes because she came into it with her business hat on. And for her to then have to take the business hat off and then put on the face of the brand hat, I don't know if that's the play. Because
here's the thing. Earlier Boss Lady was live. I was on the live for a few minutes. I saw a beautiful thing that happened in the kitchen. I saw her in the kitchen and I saw her team in the kitchen. The team was cooking. They were preparing soup. And I think it was amazing. There was a lot of bogus comments. And I wish I could have been in the background deleting those comments because it was very hurtful and a lot of it wasn't even necessary. Because at the end of the day, you have a woman who made a sacrifice. She invested in a friend's business. All of this stuff happened. She's trying to rebuild. She's working with the team. You got to look at her again from a non-biased perspective. And this is these ladies' revenue. This team, this is how she pays this team. So nobody looked at the situation and was like, I'm out of here. I ain't signed up to cook. I signed up to pack orders. Or I ain't signed up to do this. I signed up for that. Everybody got in the kitchen. They rolled up their sleeves. And as a team, they trying to push forward and make it happen. And so what I said was, or what I saw was on the video, I think Karina asked a question because there was some people making bogus comments in the comment section. But I think what happened was there was somebody who said something and she said, hey, well, if you guys got ideas of chefs, we're going to have guest chefs come in periodically and cook, right? She said that. And so people started putting names of all these different people and they was like, oh, invite such and such and invite this person and invite that person. Like 3 or 4 people that I seen that the people were suggesting, those folks have seasoning companies.
Yeah.
So then you run into what we call in business a conflict of interest.
Right.
If you're talking to a person who's a well-known chef online and they have seasoning, but you want them to come in, that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, do I come over here and do I help you promote your seasoning or do
Yeah.
I promote mine? Like, whose pepper is better? Like, I don't know, you know? So
Right.
you have to also think about that too, yeah.
So I would say, so I guess in my mind, I'm saying when I say Karina Cook, I mean her and the team. Number one, I think they did a phenomenal job. Number two, I think it's more realistic that way because, and I don't cook at all. I don't boil water at all. But oftentimes when the average person in America order the cookbook or order the seasoning, they look like that in the kitchen too. You see what I'm saying? They just trying to figure it out and they just trying to prepare something good and tasty for their family.
Yeah.
So it's very authentic and I enjoyed it. I liked it. So I would say keep that going.
Yeah.
Keep that going. You know what I'm saying? And so I would say scratch the whole idea of an ambassador or having different people come. I don't think you need it. I think the authenticity and the transparency will take you further. Now you're going to have some fools over there that's going to be saying this and that. Everybody going to have an opinion, all of that. But I think the authenticity and just saying, hey, I'm just trying to save my business. I'm trying to save my business. I'm trying to rebuild. My team has rolled up their sleeves. We all pitched in for the common goal, which is to keep the train moving forward. And we need y'all support. It's going to take y'all supporting us for us to get to the next level. And this is it. We're going to document every part of the journey, the ups, the downs, the uncertainties, everything. Yeah. And I'm just going to be transparent. I'm going to bare my soul. And in me bearing my soul, I know it's going to be a lot of naysayers and all of that, but it's 3 sides of the story. You don't know all 3. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, again, I would just do it like that. That way you're not relying on anybody.
Yeah.
Because the thing about even employees, the seat can always change, right? The seat can always change. You can have loyal employees, people who have no intention on leaving you. What happens when that person gets sick? Yeah. What happened if that person get in a car accident and they can't work? What happened if that person got to move because their spouse got relocated or whatever? Then those other 2 people that you're relying on, now you're kind of back in that same boat. But when you get in there and you cooking, or you cooking with them, or, you know, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that would be, it's just the whole marketing piece would be my thing. Yeah. It's the marketing piece. But it's going to come. I mean, it's going to happen.
It is. And my thing is I wish nothing but success to both of them because they both have their own talents in their own right. Clearly, there wouldn't have been anything for Karina to come and build up if Chef hadn't gotten there and started it. There wouldn't have been anything to bring on a more business side if it wasn't for Karina. So they both have their own talents in their own right. And I wish them nothing but success because they both have the ingredients to do something amazing. And then in the areas where they need help, they just have to find the right people. And that's all it is. And not necessarily go in business with somebody else, but just find the resources out there to help move it forward because they're both talented in their own right.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer. I feel like Karina has everything that she needs to take this business forward. She has everything that she needs to take it from where it is and take it beyond where it was. So I'm not even talking about a rebuild. I'm talking about to take it even further than we've ever seen it before. Yeah. She's got everything she needs. I also feel that Carmen has everything that she needs to be able to rebuild herself, rebuild her brand, and create new products and services. But again, I would urge her, you gotta, I would separate the 2. When you come home and you dealing with your spouse, because you can have a business and your spouse not be involved. When you come home, you want it to be about love. When you start entangling love and business, That's not for the faint of heart. Sean and I were able to do it because we had been together for over 10 years before we even went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We almost, we 16 plus years in the game. You can't get to building an empire with somebody who you've known for less than a year. It's never happened. It's never happened. Okay? And like, if it has happened, it's very dangerous, and you build it on unsolid, unstable ground. Enough has not transpired. Enough time has not passed for that to be trustworthy foundation. It hasn't. It hasn't. So I think the best is yet to come for Karina as it relates to Igotchu Seasoning. And like I said, the only feedback that I could give is a marketing piece, but I know she's feverishly probably working on that in the background. Hey, even work with other influencers outside of the cooking industry too. Just have them, get y'all out there and stuff like that. Keep going live every day. You don't even have to be live in the kitchen. Just show us whatever part of the business you're working on. And the people will show up and they will support. When Karina went live, it was 600 people watching. By the time they got the cooking, right? It was 12 or 1,300 people watching. The people want you to win. I don't care what the people are saying in the comments. Same thing over here. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the people in the comments, they support us and they know we're positive and we teach over here. They know we give value over here. But there's gonna always be a few people who just want to be seen. You see what I'm saying?
Like you said on that one reel that you had, there's always one.
Yeah, girl. You got 39 amens, and you're gonna always have a fool in the bunch. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it's made. That's just how it's designed, right? And so it's one of those situations where she just has to trust the process and just be honest. Just whatever your truth is, we're here for both of y'all. We're here for both of y'all. And I genuinely want both parties to win.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say this. So that's what I would say, Karina. Go live every day. Maybe go live 2 times a day. And just tell us whatever's going on. You don't have to give us the whole personal picture, but just say, hey, this is what we got going on in the business. We're working on this. We're trying to come up with promotions, or we're working on this. We're trying to, whatever, and get people excited about being a part of the rebuild.
Yeah.
Invite us to be a part of the rebuild, And so there was something that Karina had posted this afternoon on the page.
Oh, yeah.
Can you read that for me?
I sure can. And then one of the best friends said, do y'all still do Q&A? You know how you usually do 3 questions at the end?
Yeah, I'll do Q&A today. I will totally do Q&A.
Here we go. Okay, there we go.
I will totally do.
This was something that that boss lady posted on her page earlier this afternoon. So it said, and it speaks to the video from yesterday. But anyway, it says, in early December, 2 business owners and their legal counsel created a legal contract. I know you've been asking questions since the other party made a statement last night, but I'm respecting the legal contract, which states that we are to make a joint statement in March. There are penalties involved when you break a binding legal agreement. So until my attorney says otherwise, I am upholding my end of the contract. My team and I are super happy and relieved to be moving on. And our focus is on our loyal customers and the amazing future ahead for Igotchu Seasonings, LLC.
See?
Would you say take what out of what and do
what? I always tell y'all it's the same. You got one party who operating in emotion, girl. They in their feelings. They emotionally charged. Every time something go down, then that's how they respond. And you got another party who sticks to the facts. They stick to the facts and they operate in logic. And it's all about logic. And it's all about what's best for everybody. What did we agree on? What did the lawyers say? What did the court say? What's in the best interest of all parties, including the customers? You see what I'm saying? These are the 2 sides that you have. So for the people who like, oh, y'all, you say you non-biased, but then you really on this person's side or whatever. I told y'all months ago when this first jumped off, or weeks ago, however long, but it seemed like we've been in this for 10 years. I told y'all a long damn time ago. I'm non-biased. I side with truth. Now, if the truth don't favor you, then that's your feelings. You see what I'm saying? But I tell y'all all the time, in life and in business, you got to get out your feelings. Ain't no money there. You got to get out your feelings. Ain't no money there. And you have to operate in logic. Business is not done by emotion. It's not. Don't nobody care in business how you feel. When we talking about money and we talking about contracts and we talking about all of the things, girl.
And we're not saying that you can't have emotions.
But you got to find a place for it.
Okay?
That's what your therapist is for.
Go stand in front of a mirror. Go write in a journal. Go call your best friend on the phone. Go talk to your boo. Go do whatever you got to do to release that emotion.
Yes.
But make sure you uphold to whatever's legally binding so you don't find yourself in a conundrum that you can't find yourself out of.
That's it. That's it. Yes. Yes. That's it. I'm telling you. What else you got for the best friend?
I don't have anything else. You want to take 3 questions?
Yes.
I know we got to skedaddle over to somewhere else. But so Candy typically does, for those that are new and for those that have been with us, you know, typically when Candy does videos, especially when she's been teaching you some stuff and giving you some information, she takes 3 questions. So she will take 3 questions. So the first 3 questions I see, I will read, and then that'll be that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said, Will Marie said, I don't think Candy or Sean has a dog in the fight. We don't. I mean, you know, of course, I want what's in the best interest of all parties involved. But like I told you guys at the very beginning of the video, for those of you guys who were on the video from the beginning, I told you guys I had a strict conversation, a specific conversation with Carmen when this first jumped off. And I said, Carmen, y'all got to figure out how to put all the bullshit aside, come back to the table, and do what I would consider, and most business coaches would consider, a 12-month exit strategy. Keep it clean. Keep it clean, right?
Okay, so first question is from Miss Kim. She said, I had a question. Do you think she should rename the business?
No, I don't think that's, I think that's tomatoes. I don't think that's really important. It's a well-known business. You know, millions of people know it. So I think the business name is fine. Everybody, the cat is out the bag. Everybody knows that she's 100% owner. So I don't really think that will matter. I think that will probably do more harm than good. Mm-hmm. I would just advise her to keep the name as it is, you know, of course, unless legally, you know, they can't, you know, but yeah. Any other questions?
This one, I'm not sure, just because, you know, you got to be cautious when you're on social media. So I don't want to.
You could say do other.
Okay, yeah, because I got to make sure I say it properly. So Brenda wants to know, do other content creators have the same drama as our content creators? I'll put it that way.
I don't know. I can't speak to what other content creators have or don't have. I don't know, right? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I follow some, but
I will say this. Drama, problems, difficulties, tests, testimonies, success, failures, lessons, blah, 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 does not have a color. I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. So I would probably bet yes, but how you handle it may be different. Mm-hmm. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Nobody's immune to anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll say it like that.
Because, you got to, so look at it from a non-biased perspective. I don't care what side of the conversation you look at it from. This thing blew up, not based on what happened, but it blew up based on people's feelings. People got all in their feelings, and because they got all in their feelings, then people started acting and behaving in a very erratic, irrational, emotional way. And then you started to see, I can remember before this all jumped off, I can remember Carmen going live in the airport. Mm-hmm. She was going live in the airport, and typically when Sean and I are watching these videos, we packing orders. You know, we working on stuff for our business, but we have the videos and stuff from different content creators playing in the background. And so this particular video, Carmen was live in the airport. And the overwhelming majority of the people was like, you keep going back and forth to Texas. What about your business? You see what I'm saying? What about your business? What about Igotchu Seasonings? And she was like, I got a team for that. Mm-hmm. I got a team for that. She had an agreement. She had contractual obligations for her part of the business, even back then, that she wasn't upholding. Somebody was left holding the bag because the show still must go on. Yeah. So Karina was carrying that thing during the first part of, her and Tay getting together. When she was jumping on and off flights and they was kicking it and they was doing this and they was doing that. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So this one, I don't know if I'm gonna count this as the third question because I'm not sure. Because Will Marie said, did the sauce go with the business? What sauce?
Oh, she's talking about Ashley had barbecue sauce, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I got you. I'm gonna make that 2.5 because there was one other question. The third question is to be the last one. Sheila said, do you think Chef still promotes the brand and still not receive any revenue?
Yeah.
If it's a contract, it's a contract.
So go back to what was said about contractual obligations. Mm-hmm. Remember yesterday when Carmen did her video, she said she has certain contractual obligations. Mm-hmm. She said it, I didn't put it out here. She said in that video, I quote, I still have certain contractual obligations. Mm-hmm. She also said, I no longer generate or get any revenue, zero revenue from Igotchu Seasonings. Mm-hmm. There's certain things, based on what she said, I'm not putting nothing out there. There's certain things that she still has to do, but she not getting no money from it. Karina owns 100%.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this was exciting.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was very exciting.
Yeah.
So we gotta run.
Yes.
We have to go tend to our other business. We have to go live on the Sincerity Johnson page. If you guys are not following us, go to Sincerity Johnson. Follow us on Sincerity Johnson. We have to go downstairs in the studio. We got to go live and take care of some things with our best friends over there. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed this conversation.
Yes.
If you are a person and you've been watching all of this unfold and you like, look, it's a whole lot of money being talked about online. Girl, it's a whole lot of money being talked about online. This person making money, that person making money, and you want to start your own online business. I help people start their own online business. No sense in you continuing to watch everybody else win. You might as well jump in and get some of your own, okay? Mm-hmm. I help people start and grow their own online business and start generating in the upwards of $1,000 a day from home. Why? Because we did it. We do well over that per day, right? How do you get to work with me? You get to work with me by going to my website, CandySincerityJohnson.com. Mm-hmm. Go to CandySincerityJohnson.com. Sign up for the Mob Accelerator. The Mob Accelerator is the Millionaire Online Business Accelerator. Mm-hmm. That's my online program where you get all of the ins and outs. I walk you through everything from the start of our business to how we launched it, how we grew it, how we scaled it. And I think by the time we got through with that whole program or creating that whole program, we were up to $40,000 per month and growing. So if you want access, that's where you find it.
Melanie said, I'm gonna need an in-person training class from you ladies.
Girl, go to the website, get the Mob Accelerator. That's more than this. This is a current topic. Absolutely. This is us just giving you, our commentary about a current event. But if you're really serious and you want to get going and you want to make money in business, go get the Mob Accelerator. Go to CandySincerityJohnson.com. Get into the Mob Accelerator.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, we got to run. We got our own e-commerce business. We got our own online business. So we got to go over there and tend to that. If you're not following us over there, shame on you. Follow Sincerity Johnson everywhere, girl. Make sure you're following us on Sincerity Johnson page as well.
Good night, guys.
Love y'all. Mwah.